Hey, second grade, it's Mrs. Seals back for our next science lab. And we are going to be talking about weather for the next couple of weeks. We talked a little bit about weather before the break, and we're going to continue that. Today, we're going to be talking about one part of the weather called cloud cover. So, your target says I can observe day to day weather changes, including cloud cover. So, hopefully, you remember that weather is the condition of the atmosphere in a place for a short period of time. And we said that the atmosphere is all the gases and clouds that are surrounding our Earth. And that's what controls our weather. Everything that happens up there affects what the weather is like down here. In other words, weather is what it's like outside. So when we're describing the weather, and we talked before Christmas break, we talked about all the different parts of weather. All of those things describe what it's like outside. So clouds are a mass of water droplets or ice crystals that have clumped together or condensed in the atmosphere. So when the water that's on Earth in our lakes, rivers, oceans, ponds, streams, gets heated up by the sun, it evaporates. That means it turns into a gas and it rises up into the atmosphere. And up in the atmosphere, it's very, very cold. So what happens is it causes that water vapor or that gas to condense. That means it turns from a gas back into a liquid, and those droplets come together to form clouds. And if it's cold enough, that water will freeze and we'll have ice crystals. That's when we can get snow or sleet. But if it's not cold enough, we just get rain. So the students that are in class, they are going to be doing a mystery science activity, which unfortunately, because of copywriting issues, I cannot show that on this video that I'm going to post on YouTube because I did not create it or make it. So I'm going to kind of give you a condensed version. So in the mystery science activity, the students are going to be learning about specifically storm clouds. And even though in second grade, it is not required for you to know the different names of the types of clouds, this is a good lesson for learning about cloud cover because it teaches you not only what clouds are made of, but that there are different types of clouds and they all mean different things. So I'm going to kind of give you a condensed version of what the students in class will be doing. They'll be using the information they learned to create a storm spotters guide so that they can identify the clouds and know which ones are going to lead into to a storm. You're welcome to do this at home as well, and I'll kind of go over that in a minute. So, a lot of people think that all clouds mean that it's going to rain or storm, but that is not true. All clouds do not mean that it's going to rain or storm. Some clouds are what we call fair weather clouds, meaning they appear when it's a nice sunny day. Doesn't mean it's going to rain or snow or any of that. But the thing is, fair weather clouds can turn into storm clouds. It doesn't always happen, but it can. So it's important to know what to look for so you know if the fair weather clouds are going to be turning into storm clouds. So one type of clouds that we're going to talk about are called cumulus clouds. And cumulus clouds are fluffy clouds. It means there's nice weather and there's no storm. These are cumulus clouds. They're just nice, pretty, fluffy. They look like cotton balls or cotton candy up in the sky, but they don't necessarily mean there's going to be rain or a storm. However, they can turn into storm clouds, which I'll talk more about in a minute. Another type of fair weather cloud is called a stratus cloud. And a stratus cloud is basically like a blanket covering the sky. Stratus clouds, instead of being nice and fluffy like cumulus clouds, they're more spread out. And it can cause kind of a gloomy, gray, overcast day, but again, doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a storm. Here are some stratus clouds. So you'll notice if you compare them to the cumulus clouds that we just looked at, they're more spread out. They're more like a blanket versus a cotton ball. Notice how the sky looks pretty gray and overcast and kind of gloomy, but again, doesn't necessarily mean there's rain. So the cumulus clouds, though, they can be tricky because they can turn into a storm cloud. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I forgot this slide. I said, but cumulus clouds and stratus clouds can both turn into storm clouds. Cumulus clouds can turn into a storm cloud called a cumulonimbus cloud. And a cumulonimbus cloud is really tall and fluffy, and it can bring rain and lightning and even severe weather like hail and tornadoes. But the good thing is that they don't bring storms that last all day. They bring a quick, severe storm that lasts less than an hour. Here are some pictures of cumulonimbus clouds. And what I want you to notice about a cumulonimbus cloud versus a cumulus cloud is how tall they are. These are much taller than the cumulus clouds. Let's go back to those. They're much taller than these cumulus clouds, right? So that's important. That's an important thing to look for to know if your cumulus clouds are turning into cumulonimbus clouds. If you see cumulus clouds that are starting to grow bigger and taller over time, that could be a sign that that cumulus cloud is turning into a cumulonimbus cloud. And that could be a sign that there might be a storm or rain or lightning. But remember, again, the good thing about a cumulonimbus cloud, since they're not spread out, since they don't cover such a wide area, these storms don't typically last all day. They're very short and then they're over. And then who knows, the sun might come back out. So that's a cumulonimbus cloud. And then we have stratonimbus clouds. So stratonimbus clouds are stratus clouds that have turned into storm clouds. So remember we said stratus clouds are kind of spread out like blankets and they can cover the whole sky. They can turn into storm clouds too. When you notice that a stratus cloud starts to get darker and darker, that's your clue that it's turning into a stratonimbus cloud. They're dark and spread out, and they can bring rain showers. But the thing about these is that these rain showers can last all day. Since the stratonimbus clouds are much more spread out and they cover such a wide area, they could cover the entire sky. These are the storms where it just rains all day and you wake up and it's raining and you want to go play outside and it's still raining and you want to play out after school and it's raining on your walk home. Okay, these are the ones that cause it to rain all day, but they don't typically bring that severe weather like the lightning and the hail and the tornadoes like the cumulonimbus does. Okay, so we talked about 4 different clouds today. Let me review. We talked about 2 clouds that we call fair weather clouds, the cumulus and the stratus. And we talked about 2 storm clouds, which are the cumulonimbus, when the cumulus turns into a storm cloud and grows nice and big and tall, and the stratonimbus, when the stratus clouds get bigger and darker. So, like I said, the kids that are in class are going to be creating what we call a storm spotter's guide with those 4 different types of clouds so that they can use it. They can identify the clouds. They can know if it's going to be a nice weather day or a stormy or rainy day. If you would like to do this at home, I would love to see it. You could keep a journal of the clouds you saw each day. You can let me know if it rained or maybe even snowed since we're in winter. It's up to you. Remember that science lab is optional, so this is not something you have to do, but since we are learning about weather and cloud cover and how to stay safe during different types of weather, this would be a great activity to help with that, because again, knowing how to identify those storm clouds could help you stay safe and know if you need to be inside or different things like that. All right, I hope that you had fun learning about cloud cover, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.